Welcome, Aquarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your June general reading. I've laid out the cards along the 4 axes of the horoscope wheel. I'll begin reading with the 10th house because that's the midheaven card, the highest star in the sky. But I will clarify beginning with the first house with the African Tarot and move around the spokes of the wheel. I will finish off with an oracle card, and I hope if you find resonance, enjoyment, usefulness in this reading, you'll like and subscribe to my channel. And I thank all of you who have sent me comments. They have been so meaningful to me and supporting me in all the ways that you do, particularly with your time and attention. So thank you. I'm going to get started with your overall energy, Aquarius, which is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune indicates that this is a time for favorable action for you. This is a time when whatever it is you're starting, whatever it is you have been doing, is going to meet with unexpected favor from the universe. This is really the result of your own karma. This is really the result of the effort that you have expended towards others who have needed your support in the past in which you gave unstintingly. So this is a card which indicates that you are receiving. The universe has seen and is favoring your efforts that you have made without any expectation of recompense, of return, of reward, with deep faith that this is available to you and it is your time. The timing is ideal for something that is important to you and is creating potentially a great deal of success and or abundance. In the 10th house, we have the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands is really showing the incredible concerted effort that you are making in community with others. This is you being seen and recognized as someone who can facilitate not only communication, discourse, dialogue around an effort, but can coordinate the movement of an effort rapidly so that the combined efforts of your team, of you and others, has a much greater impact than it would have had through your own efforts, your own individual efforts. This is you receiving a lot of information, news, and communication. And my sense is that there are many people that want to join along on some project that you have been involved in for quite some time. It is now gaining momentum. In the first house, you have the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is a beautiful card. I'm coming to recognize its beauty. Having survived this myself, the 10 of Swords indicates that you are completing a cycle of apparent suffering, pain, possibly experiencing things not going your way despite your tremendous effort and investment in a particular project or community or effort. This is showing me that you have done a phenomenal job in understanding your responsibility in those things that you would view as failures. You are recognizing that rather than being the victim of disappointments, betrayals, hurt, miscommunication, that you've actually gained and learned the gifts, excuse me, of those experiences so that you are now acknowledging and recognizing that you are where you are and you are who you are as a result of things that appeared to be external damage, external mistrust, misdeeds. And you now recognize that you have gained through this period of suffering. You've gained in your ability to understand that the power to create the outcomes that you desire are within you. And you are now shifting your perspective in accordance with that. Your fourth house is the Four of Swords. And again, this is you in your domestic sphere, your history, your memory, perhaps your family of origin. The Four of Swords indicates again that the efforts that you have made, the steps you are taking currently towards rebuilding, building anew an effort, are things that you now are able to deeply understand their impact, their truth in essence, and also ways in which you not only are able to separate what does not serve you from what does. You're able to better construct your plan, your movement forward on the basis of what you have responsibly understood to be your best role moving forward. That is aligned with your own inner truth. And there's also a prayer that comes through this particular card at this time, and that is the openness to be able to take every step with this awareness that your thoughts are building the outcome that you desire. And your ability now to retreat, to pause, and cultivate this prayer, cultivate this request for assistance, aware of what you can, the limits of your own actions, but the ways in which other people can support you, being able to determine best who those productive alliances are. In the seventh house, you have the Six of Pentacles. This is your understanding how all of these changes that you're making actually impact on your significant relationships. You are looking at ways in which your characteristic response to your environment, conditioned by your environment, has been as caretaker, as responsible one, as one who meets the obligations and needs of others. You are cultivating a deeper awareness that a harmonious, balanced relationship of any sort is not balanced, is not potentially as productive as it would be if you are allowing yourself to receive that which you are given. The universe is providing you with this wonderful opportunity to receive precisely what it is you've invested. If this has been a lifetime pattern of not overgiving, but giving without an expectation of receipt, that is being changed. The universe is giving to you so that you can recognize that it impacts the microcosm of your existence, so that all your relationships, not just your relationship to the world, to your social community, to external forces, but those relationships among your peers, your significant others, the relationship between you and your work, you and the audiences of your services or products, etc., needs to be balanced. You are deserving of the rewards of your efforts. You are giving when you allow yourself to receive. And this is very critical because you have choices to make around where your resources flow, and you need to be sure that you are first in line whenever a reward is being facilitated by you. So by putting yourself first, you are giving that message and signal to all of your relationships that you are deserving of the very love that you give. The first house, Ten of Swords, is clarified by the Five of Pentacles in the second house and the Six of Cups in the third house. Yeah, there's this sense that I am seeing with the Five of Pentacles of this sense of not being everything for everyone. this sense that you have internalized in your role as caretaker, that you have felt inadequate when you haven't been able to do all of the things that whatever task you were given was requiring. This is you working against this lack mentality, this scarcity, a lack of faith that the universe has for you what you see others receiving. This is you feeling that you must be more in order to get the same, or that the more you give, you never quite receive the rewards that you believe are available. And this has to do with an internalization of the dynamic in our culture that says if you ask for help, that's some display of weakness, a display of lack on your part, when in fact what you're learning is that actually asking for help is a source of strength. Identifying what the assistance you need and requesting that actually builds for a stronger effort on your part and restores your faith in the sense that you are deserving, you are equal to all in all relationships. So the Six of Cups is really indicating this new awareness that you are gaining, that you must stop and smell the flowers. You are cultivating those naturally occurring talents and associations, many of them from your past, many of them embedded in your memory of times in which you found pleasure in your experience. You found pleasure in your work became play, you had natural gifts and skills that made you feel good, brought you happiness and pleasure. And this is something that you are now cultivating as part of your perspective, that your work must be built on a sense of pleasure, a sense of playfulness and creativity, and ultimately a sense that this is benefiting you as it does others. There's an equality here in what it is that you are able to give and receive, and thus receive from others. The Four of Swords in the fourth house is clarified by the Four of Cups in the fifth house and the Hanged Man in the sixth house. Your efforts, which have been very much focused on the ways in which you can achieve this greater balance, this greater ability for you and your team to work together more efficiently, for you to understand the opportunities that are involved in the challenges that you've faced. And the Four of Cups indicates, much like the Four of Swords, that you're building new foundations. The work to build this foundation requires you to observe, to stand back, to project your desire very consciously, your will, into your environment. However, what it is that you think you want looks differently from what it is you're receiving. This is you letting go of the idea that there's something outside of you that is going to complete you, going to complete this project, that is going to provide the ultimate element to ground your emotional experience. And this is really indicating that you have what you need. Everything you have is within you. You have certainly the experience and the facility to gain and work towards what you want. And this is asking you to recognize all of the tools, all of the emotional elements required to live and improve your life, to provide you the emotional foundation that helps you to receive, that helps you to give with a clear understanding that it is a two-way street. There is a balance. It's helping you to appreciate that balance in your life. The Hanged Man in the 6th house is also asking you to step back, to cultivate that spirit and that conscious change in your perspective. This is something that you are understanding that you must sacrifice a sense of control over your environment, a sense that by controlling your environment, i.e. being the caretaker, being the lead, being the boss, is something that you can let go of. You can trust in the work that you've done. You can trust in the way that you've established your life and your being at this time so that others can support you and contribute to your broader perspective that now is empowering you to recognize that every lesson has a gift. Every challenge builds resiliency, and that you are fuller in control of what it is you desire by cultivating clear thoughts. The 6 of Pentacles in the 7th house is clarified by the 9 of Swords in the 8th and the 3 of Cups in the 9th house. This 9 of Swords is really talking about this change that you are making in your perspective, in your outer life. You have sustained incredible disappointments in your significant relationships. Perhaps you've lost some resources through a separation, a divorce, a parting of paths with others, or perhaps in your desire to caretake for someone, you've experienced an internalization of the damage of unfair, untruthful misdeeds of others. This is you acknowledging that the failures, the disappointments you've experienced are not a reflection of who you are. They're a reflection of experiences you've had. And as you carefully have adjusted the way that you think about your experiences, the way that you're able to extract those lessons and gifts from all the damage, all the losses, all the hurt that you've sustained, is what is empowering you to gain control, real control, over the way that you move forward. The 3 of Cups is indicating that you are experiencing some celebration as a result of your ability to grow in your capacity for compassion. You are able to communicate the weaknesses, the vulnerabilities that you've experienced in such a way that you are able to compassionately support others. This is at a deeply spiritual level. So this can be through your efforts to communicate more broadly, to draw in the support that you are attracting to the effort that you are now making through your work in your community. You are able to galvanize others into a willingness to move forward through your ability to recognize the support that others need and to receive the same support from others. This is a cause for deep celebration. This is uplifting your whole spiritual experience of the world as not such a harsh and damaging space as you have experienced in the past. So again, this process of healing is what is helping you to gain this ability to shift and control your own thoughts, is what's helping you to recognize and support the needs of others. The 8 of Wands is clarified by the 4 of Pentacles in the 11th house and the Devil card in the 12th house. You're definitely learning to hold on to those resources and tools that you can facilitate and provide to others in your social activism, in your humanitarian efforts. This is where you connect throughout the world to other like communities or entities without needing to be in that physical presence. This is where you connect and hold on to that which you've gained, showing others how to do the same. The devil in the 12th house is indicating your tremendous growth, your tremendous ability to manipulate, to use the rulership of Saturn, which is one of your ruling planets, to understand that you have made choices in the past that limited your effectiveness, your success, and your actions. This is you recognizing now that you no longer choose to meet the expectations of others, to fulfill their needs to the exclusion of your own. This is you recognizing your own triggers, the temptations along the way to find gratification in superficial, short-term success, thrills, feeling good in the moment, for choosing what feels best in the longer term. 15 reduces to the number 6. Think of the Lover's card, not only in the similarity between the cards, but also in the fact that ultimately you have learned how to discriminate away from those choices that are about giving up your needs, giving up those things you desire to fulfill those for other people. I'm going to finish off this reading, Aquarius, with a language of the flowers and crystal oracle cards, and ask again if you would like and subscribe to my channel. I must shuffle with my eyes closed because I get so attracted by the jumble of images. I'm a very visual person, and I found the bluebell, and the key word is gratitude. Be thankful for what is good now. I'm going to leave it here, Aquarius. Thank you for your time and attention, and as always, and until next time, Namaste.